Welcome to the KX Country Clubhouse. My name is Mann from KX 96, and today joined from someone in KX Country. It's Griffen Palmer. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. So you've got the debut album coming out April 28th, Unlearn. Get to that in a minute, but you've kind of been in the game like for a while, like for writing for other artists and things like that, and like we're currently playing Second Guessing. So how does a guy from Pickering end up writing these songs in Nashville?
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. Growing up in Pickering, I knew I always wanted to be an artist and a songwriter, but it's not a very clear path to get there. It's really tricky, and everyone kind of finds their own way. So for me, it took a lot of first off, going to school in the States. I went to school in Ohio on a rugby scholarship, and there I got to play shows all around Ohio. And, that kind of really exposed me to a lot of country music and a lot of fans and what they wanted to listen to. And then, finding a way to end up in Nashville was a whole other thing. I had to get the visa and stuff to go down there. And, the last 4.5 years, I've just been, writing songs here and grinding and learning. And, it's been a long road, but we're finally here and putting out music, and yeah, it's fun.
So you've been kind of going back and forth between here and Nashville over the last little bit to write these songs and work with people and whatnot?
Yeah, well, I moved here full-time. So for almost 5 years.
Oh, you're there full-time now?
Fully here in Nashville, yeah.
That's good. That's awesome. Now I want to talk about Second Guessing, of course, which, as I mentioned, we're playing, but that was kind of the start of like your specific musical journey, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
especially as an artist.
So how did that come to be? Like, because that was, like I said, kind of the start, and now here we are. So how did that all come?
Yeah, this song has been a journey of its own. I mean, I wrote it March of 2019, so a while back, and it kind of got its first spotlight on NBC Songland, that songwriter TV show where I got to pitch the song to Florida Georgia Line, and then they put it on their last record. So then when it was time for me to put up my own music, I just thought, this is such a big part of how I got here. I just want to do my own version. And I did that, and then yeah, you guys picked it up and started playing it, and the Sirius XM made me their highway find, and they started playing it, and all these things started happening, all just based off this one song. So it's really opened a lot of doors for me, and yeah, it's very cool.
Well, see, I remember watching that Songland episode, and I didn't know who you were at the time, but I had watched it, and I was like, if FGL doesn't pick up this song right now, like I just thought it was so good, and I actually convinced my friends to use that song at their wedding.
Oh, no way. Well, thanks for doing that.
Because I thought it was that good. I'm just saying. But yeah, I remember watching that, and I just thought it was such a cool thing. And then I was like, no way, he's from Pickering. And anyways, so yeah. So what was the process? Was there like a process to then release it under your own name, even though you were already a writer and FGL had released it before?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of ownership and copyright and all that stuff, but, I do own still the copyright for the publishing for that. So I didn't really have to ask permission to do that. But yeah, all this stuff's kind of led to me signing my record deal here in Nashville at Big Loud. And, it's kind of their idea that, we should really own this as the song that created you, because it really did. And yeah, I mean, especially over the last few years, just like your friends and stuff, I've had a lot of people reach out saying they're using it for their wedding and stuff, and asking me if I'd ever put a version out. So a lot of this was for them, to do it for those people that have been waiting for years to hear it. And I hope everyone likes my version and how that all turned out.
Oh yeah, it's great. Like, so awesome. And then you took it on The Bachelor too. Like, what was that experience like?
Yeah, The Bachelor was crazy. I mean, that's such like an iconic TV program, that everybody knows. And so being there on set and just waiting to get to go play it, you definitely have this moment of knowing, who's played it before you and how big of an opportunity that is. And I'm super grateful, especially being a Canadian. It's a pretty rare chance to get. And yeah, that was really fun.
Were you nervous for that one?
I was nervous, yeah, because it's, you don't see all the eyeballs watching you at that moment, but that whatever you do in this next 3 minutes is going to be seen by millions of people. So there's a little bit of pressure there, but everyone at the crew on the show is super cool. And, we had the best team put together to be able to do the performance. And so they took care of me really well.
That's awesome. So yeah, back to the debut album, Unlearn, which is going to be out on April 28th. Well, I learned that, I guess, that Second Guessing kind of has a second side to it with this song 25 to Life. What is that about?
Yeah, so that was another song I wrote during the pandemic. My co-writer and I, Jeff Warburton, kind of hunkered down when we were on the stay-at-home orders and just decided to wake up every day and write songs. So yeah, this was kind of like another look at a relationship. And I wanted to kind of juxtapose like this whole idea of a jail sentence or a long time, with the idea of being in a relationship, almost with the idea that like, a life sentence with the right person would be like the best type of sentence, right? So yeah, we just decided that it would be great, especially with the music videos, if they kind of went into each other or were telling the same kind of story. So like you said, they're almost two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. And now the Unlearn would be the latest off the album, which is the title track. Now tell me about that, because it is a pretty personal song too, and especially being the title track to the whole album and your debut album at that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole different experience when you're releasing music as your own artist. You can kind of talk about certain things that aren't as accessible when you're trying to pitch a song to someone else. So I kind of just took this opportunity, even though it was kind of scary for me. I wasn't really sure at first if I wanted to put it on the record, to just tell a little bit of my story growing up in a house where, my parents were divorced, and love and family looked a lot different for me than what I realized it was later on in life. And, what's the process of kind of reevaluating that for yourself into a more healthy, outlook. And yeah, so it's a song, I think I put it on Instagram. It's a song that I wish I had, 10, 15 years ago when I was right in the thick of it, especially now being on the other side where, our family is as strong as it's ever been. But yeah, I hope people can kind of get to know a little bit more about me in those 3 minutes. And that's why I decided to name the album after that song, Unlearn.
Well, and it's definitely relatable too, in that sense for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. But it was so good. Like I saw you at on stage at the Rec Laws Winters Beach tour. I know you were set out or are out, I guess, with Lily Rose right now. So what are the plans for after the release? Because like that's only a couple weeks away now.
I know, it's sneaking up on us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still have a couple weeks on the road with Lily. We got some Texas shows and shows up in Ohio and Milwaukee and all sorts of stuff. So that'll be fun. And then, just some other shows, one-off things planned for the rest of the summer. Got some festivals up in Canada that are getting announced soon. I think one's getting announced today. And yeah, just trying to get this music out to as many people that want to listen to it, especially Canadians. I love coming home. So hopefully I can be up there all summer.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. All right, well, looking forward to that festival announcement. I'll be waiting for that whenever that comes, for sure. But hope to see you soon. And thank you for taking the time today. Really looking forward to the full release of the album so I can hear all the rest of this music too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Great to talk to you, buddy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers, man.
See ya.